Welcome everybody back to Lions Acquisition Headquarters, where it's acquisition without the C, because we ain't taking any crappy players and we ain't taking any crap from anybody. Listen up, breaking news right here. Detroit Lions have signed the CFL's all-time sack leader in Matthew Betts. You heard it here. Matthew Betts has signed with the Detroit Lions, the CFL record holder. But before we get into his stats, his measurables, and another potential, maybe one of my favorite players that we're covering, and he's at the 165th pick. Seriously, one of my favorite players that I've covered so far could be at 165. Before we talk all that, hit that like and subscribe button. You know the content is there. It is flowing. It's mind-boggling how much content there is. It's every day, all the time. The playlists are endless. Every day we're knocking out free agent talk and we're talking draft talk. Today, we're just blessed to have an acquisition without the C, because Matthew Betts ain't a crappy player, ladies and gentlemen. He's a downright get after it kind of guy. Now, word of caution here, okay? Let's bring it back, okay? This is not Myles Garrett. This is not TJ Watts. This is not Aiden Hutchinson. Okay? This isn't Micah Parsons. No. This is, I would say, the Max Crosby of the BC, of the CFL. And so the first step I love of Matthew Betts at 6'3", 6'4", 250. First step's amazing, okay? His get off is awesome. He's got several different counter moves. The one thing is light frame. Real light frame is what I'm seeing. And a guy that is not going up against NFL caliber offensive linemen. So we're going to have to bring it back and say, good, solid pickup right here. And what I love about this pickup from Brad Holmes and MCDC and from AG is, hey, we get to kick the tires on this guy. We get to see what this guy is all about. When we go over to training camp and all that, we get to see this guy's going to add depth at that time. And he's going to get to fight for a position. He has a strong motor, relentless motor. He's all the time. And so I think Matthew Betts is somebody that we can put on our 53-man roster watch list. Okay? He might be guaranteed a spot, but he's on the watch list. And so is he coming after Aiden Hutchinson's job? Absolutely not. Is he? If he gives us half of what Aiden Hutchinson does, I think that would be an unbelievable year if he did that coming up. If he makes the 53, contributes on special teams, the guy had a block kick in special teams. He did have 18 sacks, ladies and gentlemen. I watched a lot of them. And so, yeah, we've got to just bring it back. He forced 4 fumbles. We talk about Dan Campbell, AG. They want to take the ball away. This guy takes the ball away as a defensive and edge rusher. So a lot of good things about Matthew Betts. I just don't want us to go oh man, we just signed Aiden Hutchinson. Let's bring it back. And let's just see if he can make the 53. Let's see what kind of player we get there. So, again, congrats, Matthew Betts, on being a Detroit Lion. We know you're not a crappy player because we wouldn't have signed you. So congrats on that. Now to the big one. We're going all the way back to the 165th pick in the draft tonight. All right. Why are we going back to back at 165? Because it's Dallin Hawker. Okay, let me say that again. Dallin Hawker. Who in the world is that? Well, it's tight end, Colorado State University, transferred from BYU. Now, you probably never heard of the name unless you are a tight end fanatic like me and Dan Campbell. And why that name might ring a little something to you? He was at the John Mackey. He was a finalist for that this year as one of the best tight ends in the nation. I love this dude. If we get him at 165, steal upon steal. Because if you just go watch the tape of his highlights, the dude is this. All hands catching, vertical up the seam speed, not afraid to catch across the middle, will catch with people on him, will take massive hits and maintain control of the ball to the ground. Those are all awesome. 6'3", 255. He'll stick his nose in the run game. He is not afraid to run block. He's not the greatest, but he will do the job. And when he gets around good tight end coaches, this guy, I think he's got the mindset. Now okay. We talk about Dan Campbell, Lions players all the time. Here it is right here. This dude's playing with one arm in these highlights. Like one arm that can't even go like up to his shoulder. And he's making one-handed grabs. He's bringing that arm barely up enough. And he's running through people, running over people. I mean, he just reeks and just exudes the mentality and the persona. So Dallin Hawker is somebody with size, with mentality, with game-changing ability that I could see the Detroit Lions taking a strong interest with in that 5th round at the 165th pick. We talked about McKinley Jackson at that same pick yesterday. So we talked about him as a projected 3rd round pick. What we're seeing from Dallin is that he's in this 5th round area. So if we can get him in the 5th round at 165, through the moon. I think he would be an unbelievable addition to the Detroit Lions, just with mentality, the skill, the ability, the measurables, the intensity that he plays with. I love him. I love that he can get off and shed defenders, create space with his body, catch radius through the roof, one hand catchability, opposite hand catchability. You'll see all of this. If you go see his highlights, Dallin Hawker, Colorado State University, you'll see all of this in a very short time. You see how he does against Colorado Buffaloes and some of the Mountain West Conference as well. And so really like this guy. Really like Matthew Betts. I think it's been a great episode, everyone. I'm excited for this one to get out there. Hopefully you listen all the way to the end. And just remember to take a moment and always rejoice, pray, and give thanks. And go Lions!